Top morning, ladies. My name is Ches, and welcome to or should I say, welcome back to What If Zuko Was Loved by Poison Ivy, Part 2. So, in where we left off, the, he had, hold on, sorry about that. Yeah. So, Zuko, like, in, where we left off, Zuko was, when he was asleep, he was teleported into, a fusion world, where it's two worlds of the one that you see on your screen. And, here, boom, of this Zuko and the this Zuko right here. So, yeah. So Zuko ends up, um, like, visits with both sides at the same time as his mother, or no, actually his sister comes into a room and sits down, and she sees his hair turning white, like the that Zuko has, but it also mixed with the Godzilla version, this one right here, that long hair. Yeah, it got turned from white to blue, and she texted her mother and her father as they both like the came running through, and they see him as smoke coming out of his mouth, like burning, and then as I don't know what's going on, as yeah. So then they visit for a while, and then the next morning his hair got back to normal color and went went back to normal hairstyle. As Zumi was sleeping in a chair away from Zuko's, to make sure, and she could hear everything. She heard the mixed voices of Zuko's normal pitch voice, or actually, she didn't know. So then he gets up, he gets ready, like always. He goes to like a high school as he wakes up Zumi before she even like dozed off, or actually before. So she woke up. Where did Zuko go? That's a cool vanishing act. So yeah. So next morning, so Zumi went to school. She wasn't late. She was super early. As she fell asleep before class even started. As she doesn't, because how tired she was, keeping all night hearing her brother talking in his sleep. Him as the only person that was there watching her sleep was Mr. Izawa. As gets out, he gets out of the sleeping bag, he walks over and he says, "Did you have the late last night thing?" As Zumi says, "Yeah, it's just my parents says my brother keeps talking in his sleep last night. Like, you ever did that, Mr. Zawa? All talking in my sleep? No? Well, then, worst is that Mr. or the 2 nights, as he says, or as she says this, 2 nights, means the first night someone was talking through Zuko when he was sleeping. Because his body had spikes come out of his back. And then the next morning, or next night, he had this long white hair. Like he wasn't had any cigars, but smoke came out off of his mouth as green particles on like as my it's something's weird about going on with my brother Hunter. So yeah, the sorry, I'm thinking. So Mr. Ozawa says, "Okay, so you're saying that something's going on with your brother. Like, what's going on with him? Like, you said he grew spikes out of his back and him talking to himself. Yeah, like, can I don't know, whiteboard thing? Sure. As she drew what the first night was, this looked like that, more hunched over, but the, that one that was talking through, that this creature that was talking through Zuko was said that, and it was the deepest tone that you could ever think of. Here, have a listen. As she hits play, as the lowest voice tone of this. Ready? This is my version of what Doomsday Zuko would sound like. "Hello, everyone." Or, "Hello, Zuko. I will tell you this story of why I was born into this cruel world." As Doomsday Zuko's voice was so deep, dark, like there was no hyped up kind. I met Mr. Izawa. I met All Might in this timeline. As then Zuko, they could hear Zuko's voice. Where are they now? Over there. As Zumi paused it, when he lifted his arm to point at the window, as yeah, and then he said, I killed them. They weren't a challenge for me. They were trying to stop me from killing everybody. But in reality, you're as Mr. Zawa heard everything. So you're saying that your brother is, what quirk does he have? He's quirkless. As that caught Mr. Zawa off guard. Wait, hold on. You said he's quirkless, but he talks to like these creatures in his sleep. Yeah, that's weird. So, and let's say that today, the one that they were Monday. So, yeah. So it was a cam bark. As Mr. Azawa tells Zomi that if you want to bring your brother, I'm okay with that, okay? As Tanya says, wait, the students can't bring someone from, as Razumi says, do you really want to hear like what he said in the dream? My brother's dream? As Tanya's brother, or no, Tanya looks at her and says, what do you mean? Well, it's been 2 nights, or 3 nights, and he been talking to himself in a dream. Have a listen as he hits play, or as she hits play on it, as all the students were hearing them, like hearing the first night, ain't because each one had their own separate DVD players, and like when they heard the first night, as a monstrous voice was like, yeah, that was coming out as the singing that they like listened to. Yeah. And then now the third one was, how will I put this? It was like, I'm trying to find it. It was I'm trying to think. It's hard for me. it was in one of the what ifs that was scariest one. So, yeah, as everyone was like afraid, so they're like, man, okay. So then, because he actually went to high school and he still talks to the plant. Where is he? Where is it? Did I not even save it? Gosh dang it. Give me a moment. This one. Hold on. They don't. I. See? Boom. Oh, and this. So, he was still talking to it. As the plant still talks to him. As Poison Ivy. Finally, one day, Poison Ivy decided to follow him after school, and she sees this big monstrous plant that looks like could eat a human whole. And she's like freaking out, but then Zuko calmly comes up to that plant and says, "Hey, plant," or "Hey, what's up?" As the one of the vines high fives him, as Poison Ivy's confused of why this kid has, because she did not know that he had the powers of infinity and zero and relax. So he, so then the next day, or like that night, or actually the after school, his sister invites him to have a camp out with his with her classmates. As he says sure. Or as Zuko's knows that, or actually Poison Ivy knows that something is like is weird. So Zuko goes camping with his sister and his with her class. So he like was sleeping as a tendrils comes out, or actually a big buff guy that's about not the same size as Whitebeard, but more like a average human. He looks like Escanor, but with as the or Eraserhead moves everyone away from him. Something tells him that as Escanor version of Zuko, or it's from the what if Zuko had the powers of sunshine. Sunshine. Yeah. So as everyone woke up in hot, like sweat, as they see Zuko literally on fire, as they were like trying to put out the flames, but the flames couldn't go get out. So He tried everything from splashing him with water, trying to wake him up from, but he was dead asleep. So, yeah. So Zuko talks to him, and then the next morning he gets up. Um, and everyone had to sleep. Like, they weren't actually sleeping outside, they were sleeping around him. Um, to make sure, and Todoroki actually put him on ice, so, yeah. So, he shrunk back to normal size. Everyone was, like, still sleeping. The only person that was awake was Zuko. As he gets up, he walks out. Um, and so he talks to trees. As everyone's like, as every tree was. So, yeah. The ever school actually, no. Mr. Zawa tells the high school though Zuko is going on a trip with his class, or with his sister's class. So, yeah. Yeah, so the so after that he is always so relaxed. Like, everyone's like panicking of why he's always transforms into like these creatures or these like people, and in his sleep. But Poison Ivy, he didn't realize that Zuko had the infinity power. So, as the Tam arc ends, and then Hero versus, or no, All Might versus All for One, the as All for One tells All Might that the people like you should know what Zuko's, or that high school student, not the student at UA, but the high school student, and hence was actually, let me tell you what he was, he has something special going. So he was born with a power of infinity and zero. The only thing that was holding him back is his relaxation power. So he is always relaxed. That's why he, as Zuko looks up, as he sees All for One, that triggered the Doomsday Zuko. Doomsday Zuko, they, all of them share his memories. So, yeah. And they could see what, as Doomsday Zuko is really mad at All for One for what he did to him. So it will feel good when, and plus Escanor, or actually Zuko, the one that looks like Escanor one, he ended up joining. So did the Godzilla's reincarnation one, the one that you see on your screen. This guy, he joins the fight. So then and you know who else joined the fight? Was him. So Zuku's body starts to react as the power plus infinity power and zero woke him up. As he turns around, as he says, now you really made me mad, aren't you? As his eyes were rainbow colored, like flames, as spikes comes out of his back. As tendrils comes out of his back as well. Yeah. It looked like he was like how will I put this? He looked like that thing, but with like tendrils coming off of its entire body from its back, with tips of it as like spikes. And yeah, and they were hard as not even a crystal drill could pierce through. As the plant and and the one that you see on your screen has joined the fight too, and it infused itself into into his body, and he became the one who rules all, or no, actually one above all. And Zuko looks over at All Might as he says that let us as adults handle it, kid. Or should I say let us all handle it. And now, as he turns his sights back to All for One, as All for One is like, guess I will battle against the entire multiverse power of yours, facing full wrath. Yeah. As he stomps his foot, causing a massive earthquake, like a giant dome between Zuko and All for One. So that Zuko straight off beats like All for One around like a little rag doll. And yeah, he used Hero Killer Stains' blade that he got. Or he created a duplicate one. So yeah, he killed All for One as Doomsday Zuko. How does all of you feel? As Zuko asks himself that. As Doomsday Zuko says, that feels great again. Okay. As as a plant, and So then when the dome cracked and winner was Zuko, or is Zuko. As he says, alright, I'm heading back to home before I run late to, hey, it's a school night. Okay? Yeah. So then after that, he goes to high school. He meets, or he gets actually meets by Poison Ivy as she decides to kiss him right on the lips. Because she couldn't hold herself back from loving on him, and yeah, sorry, they so basically, yeah, Zuko, oh, was like when he used hit, or actually she asks him to like pause time thing real quick, as he says sure. When he did, the everyone was like paused. They could not move except for him and the poison ivy. Then they start making out. Oh, sorry. Give me a moment. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, I just. So, yeah. So, Poison Ivy's. When I said, like, when she's. Or when they're the. Making out thing, she literally puts her tongue into his mouth. Oh. Yeah. So then. So both of them. Were basically gonna get on a date thing. So they were dating. Or actually Zuko went back to, or everything went back to normal. And yeah, so after school he goes, talks through his plan with her, and he taught her how to use a little bit of his knowledge. And so, yeah. The Zuko, or so then Poison Ivy and Zuko went on a date. And they both got, so they were dating for a while. And it doesn't matter if they want, or if they went to two separate schools, because Zuko got accepted to UA. Hey, and then he did attend UA. And yeah. So, yeah. basically that's what happens when and the he when you're trying to date somebody that's so powerful, then you yeah. So Zuko didn't dump her, but after like school's thing, they they dated over a long time. As Zuko caught up to for a rest. As Bakugo's like, we didn't know that that you were the most powerfulest person, Zuko. I would have ignore you, or we didn't ignore you. So yeah. So the basically yeah. So Zuko was like, okay, that's okay. And so then overhaul fight thing, Zuko took care of that, and mine was like, man, if I didn't get past my quirk onto your sister, my quirks are passed on through generation through generation. So, yeah, with you're probably trying to make my sister catch up to my power level, isn't it? Right? Yeah. So, that's okay. As Zuko, or as Zumi, or he asked Zumi if she could charge up One for All for, as she does that, and and yeah, as she only could reach, let's say, 5%, or no, actually 10%. And Zuko's like, huh, you still have a long way to go, little sister. As Zuko charges his own version of One for All. Because he did meet Zuko, the canon version, and yeah, Zuko powered up to about infinity amount. Yeah. As they could not believe how much power level he has. As Momo is thinking about trying to trick Zuko to dating her. Because yeah. So that's what she's been since after Zuko arrived to UA, or actually to the camp with the rest of them, and showed his like alternate sides. Momo decides, well, I know that he has a girlfriend, but if he like tricked him on dating her or dating me, this is what Momo is saying. Then he'll probably be going on dates with me more than with this so-called poison ivy. Yeah. And yeah. So poison ivy has like the most sexiest body in the world. It was made it it was it looked like mixed between Bunny Girl's entire body looks like a 2-year-old one. If you don't know, I know. And plus, Poison Ivy makes all the girls look like they're only 2 years old. Like, they're not like, because heck, the Poison Ivy's is like entire body. I'm trying to not say it, but the Poison Ivy's is giblets and are way bigger than everybody else's. Like all those girls. Her giblets things makes all those girls look like they have flat chests. Yeah. So yeah. So then only 2 people, or only person that knows Otis, that Momo is planning to subdue like Zuko to fall in love with her, is Zumi. Yeah. So yeah. So they've been dating for a long time between Zuko and Poison Ivy, and it was finally a next step in their relationship thing. Now they are gonna get married. So yeah. So they got married, and they had a daughter on her that had, or this is what she looks like. Their daughter. Yeah. She could talk to plants, like what Zuko does. She has, like, her mother's, like, body structure, like what I said earlier. And yeah. And she could also talk to alternate versions of her father if she wants to. Everyone thinks that she's crazy, but the Poison Ivy understands that yeah. And you know what Momo decides? She decides to get married to Todoroki. Yeah. The Yeah. So the Zuko ends up um um or so and Chaco got married to Bakugo, and yeah. And now this is the end of the What If. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. Peace.